Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the travel career coach. I am here with my client Meredith, who runs Travel with Meredith. How are you doing today, lady?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. You're a recent graduate of our Careers on Vacation program. And
Yeah,
so thank you, first of all, for volunteering to come on the show and share your amazing journey today.
no problem.
But tell us a little bit about where your business was before doing Careers on Vacation and where it is now.
Okay, so I was doing this for about 2 years beforehand, and I was definitely struggling. I was with a different host agency, and although I like them personally, the agency itself wasn't really a great fit for me. I didn't have the support, and I didn't have the foundation that I needed. So I was struggling for 2 years, floundering, maybe is a better word.
Yeah. Trying to pull it all together, like what's
Yeah,
gonna work? Yeah.
yeah, trying to get my act together. I mean, I had some clients, but really, I didn't have that foundation, that base that I needed in order to have a successful travel agency business. So I knew I needed help before I threw in the towel. I needed help. So that's when I started doing. And when I first got into this business, I didn't know anybody in it, and I was having a hard time figuring everything out. And I did figure things out over 2 years, but it still wasn't enough. And then that's when I started doing some more research on, like, oh my gosh, there's all these host agencies and there's all these other programs that really opened my eyes. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way than what I'm doing here. And when I started looking into different host agencies, I was like, you know what? These are going to be a better fit for me. So when I decided to switch host agencies, I also said to myself, all right, you got to get serious. You got to start looking at a training program. You're either going to do this right, or you're just going to, get out and, throw the towel in. So that's when, I came across your program, and, I actually gave a call, maybe a year or 9 months earlier. And I guess I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to commit then. I thought maybe I could still do it on my own. But the second time around, I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I spoke to you guys and decided this was going to be a fit for me. And I was going to commit. So
I think your journey is such a common journey too, because people think a host is the end all and be all to answer all of their challenges. And the relationship with a host, it's not like back in the 90s where you work for an agency and they sit next to you and they help you. And no, it's literally like turn your stuff on and they might have a couple freebie little things here and there, training programs, and all of us can get supplier trainings. Like there's all those stuff is available. That kind of stuff is available to everyone, but it's, I think, really like learning the ins and outs of how to operate an online business.
exactly,
Right?
exactly.
And I love that you said before I threw in the towel, because I always tell people, like, you can take 2 cycles. You can do it like the right way from the beginning, get the help and do that. The other one is you do the DIY, and then it's kind of like either it takes a really long time to figure it out. Like 2 years would be awesome if you could figure out in 2 years. It honestly takes 4, 5, 6, 7 if you talk to people who really took that route and are now successful. Or do I get like that roadmap piece, right? And so I'm always telling people, like, don't quit. Like this is a very scalable, resilient, amazing business if you know how to structure it and kind of put those pieces. So I'm glad that before you threw in the towel, you reached out to us. Tell me, what's been your biggest win or celebration since taking the program?
Well, it's getting the blueprint that this program has provided, and getting that process down, and getting automated and doing things in the correct order, and just really laying that foundation. And that's what I was really struggling with before. And the program gave me the tools I needed. You gave overviews, but you also gave details as well. within each module. And that's something that I really needed. I needed that structure. Again, that's what I struggled with before, with the just being thrown into a host agency and not having that support. And really,
good luck to you.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's really the foundation that I needed, and that was perfect. So
I love that.
mm-hmm.
And what has been we do a lot of mindset, like teaching you how to think like a CEO and teaching you how to overcome whatever obstacles might pop in your way. Sometimes it's your own self-confidence. Sometimes it's something like we're going through right now. And I want to talk about the fact that when Meredith is just graduated the last couple weeks, so she's been in the program during COVID-19 pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be really candid about that, because I think a lot of people, whether you're watching this a year from now or you're watching it to next week when we put it out on the feeds, people are kind of in that place where they're like, what do I do? And would it be the time? Like, they have time right now, but is it kind of that, how do I handle when something like this pops up? And the way I like to think about it is like, if you learn in the difficult time, you're going to be even more successful in the easy times. Like, normally these businesses are real easy. We teach people the roadmap, scale them up, but you went through the program as all of this unfolded, and as a result, we unfolded more tools and support. Can you talk to everyone just for a minute about how, either from a mindset perspective or from a doing this during COVID-19 has helped you, if it has?
Yeah, definitely. And just like you said, learning at this point, it's it really makes you stronger and more determined. And that mindset piece was really instrumental during this whole process. Again, that the mindset, it it gave me a process to put into place every morning. So before I start my work day, I take 15 minutes and I do my affirmations. I see the movie reel in my head that you were talking about, where you want to be, your goals, and you focus on them. And so even with all this craziness going on right now, with COVID-19, it allowed me to sit down, 15 minutes every day, put myself in that positive mindset and that mind frame that you need to be in. You have to, because people are freaking out, and you can't freak out. I mean, you can freak out a little bit, and then you can, listen, I had my little my issues, and then I actually even made a video about it, about how I said to myself, stop it, snap out of it. Get those tools that you learned, in the mindset portion, and bring them in here, calm the heck down, and focus again on your goals. Your goals should, my goals still hasn't changed. And that's really what I'm focusing on. And again, the other thing that I learned that was really important is, with the mindset part, is you collectively are where you need to be. I spent, the 2 years beforehand, thinking, oh God, I can't believe I'm only here. I'm like, this part of my business, I should be further along. And one of the things I learned with this program is, nope, you're exactly where you need to be. Just take a breath. This is right. You're right. So I think it's really important. And the mindset stuff is not only helpful in this business, it's helpful in life, the rest of my life, my personal life, and everything that's going on around me in everyday life. So and it's, people can apply it to any business. They should.
Into any situation, right? Because
Mhm.
COVID-19 is not going to be the last thing we deal with. Like, surprise, like I've been doing this 25 years. There's been 9/11, there's been recession in '08, there's been countless weather events, there's been other health, like stuff pops up. But here's the good news in all of this, I feel like too, like having the tools for mindset to deal with how and when these things pop
Mhm.
up is so critical to being that agent that people want to work with or that company that they want to work with. But through this process, there's a huge silver lining, like CNN, USA Today, Forbes, they're all talking about how travel advisors are the heroes. We are the ones that saved the day when the big OTAs shut their doors down. And so there's now more opportunity for us because those people that use a lot of those OTA services are, the mainstream media is like, you need a travel agent on speed dial. So what comes of this as we go through this process, yes, we're dealing through the thick of it right now, but from a consultant and knowing from historical how these cycles work, we always come out of it. Everyone goes back to traveling. It's going to be fine. But I think that's the big silver lining, that the world just woke up to how valuable having that advocate is. And you guys we've been telling you this mindset all along, and all it's doing is playing out in front of our eyes.
Correct.
Like, it's the opportunity to step into. I know you and I, we had our final call, so we talked about how to modify your messaging and how to position yourself as an expert and make yourself that whole, kind of the things that you want to work on during this period. But I think the mindset piece is so key, because it doesn't really matter what struggle or thing pops up if you have the stuff that you didn't have before, which is that roadmap or that toolbox you can lift up and go, okay, this is the protocol for this, or, oh, I remember what COVID was like, so let me refresh my mindset and how we did that piece. So I love that. And you're right, it's not just business, it's, your life or your personal or whatever you're working on, whatever goal you want to accomplish. So
Yeah, no, I really feel like I can do anything if I put my mind to it and focus. And so I think it was very, very important part of the program.
yeah.
So, and I'm thankful for it, definitely.
And you mentioned earlier, so you kind of hinted at it. You said, I always ask people, like, because there's people watching this video and they're like, oh, I know I need this, or I'm like Meredith, I've been going years and just getting the same result. Like, how do I boost past this plateau, or how do I not give up on myself in this business? So, there's people that are sitting at home. I like to always ask, like, what the process was for you. So, like, when you called us 9 months ago, what was the journey that kind of got you here to finally making that decision? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, I just decided that I didn't want to struggle anymore.
Yeah.
And, and I guess, like I said, I wasn't there the first time because, you could do this, you can make it work. And really, and, once I made that decision that I am going to change host agencies and, do something that's a better fit for me, that was a springboard for, like, hey, if you're going to do this, if you're going to change your host agency, you might as well go for the,
hit the reset button on the whole thing and just figure out,
clean slate. And I gotta say, like, the 2 years before, I did learn things. I did learn a lot, clearly, because again, you're where you should, I'm exactly where I should be. And so, that journey was definitely useful and helpful. But now, again, those building blocks that I have are really good, are instrumental. And when this whole COVID-19 is over, I feel like I have the tools. I'm going to be ready, and I am ready to make my business successful and be exactly where I want to be, or what my goals are. So
totally set up for success. And and if you're a brand new agent, like, that takes time. And also, if you are in Meredith's position, we help you select a new host. So, or we decide, if you're experienced, is it right for you to have a host, or should you be going independent? We set you up with we have a new agent program, and we also have an experienced agent program. So it depends on where you are, and we work with you accordingly. So Meredith, in today's like when you started COVID-19 hadn't hit yet, right? That kind of happened in the middle of your program. So for that person who, we've had a lot of people the last couple of weeks that are like, I'm still working, but I'm working from home. I'm like, we won't tell your boss, like this is a private coaching type of situation. We're not going to tell them you're sneaky building your business. But what would you say to that person having, come on the journey that you've come with, trying it on the DIY approach and then now going through the program, for that new person or even the experienced one that was where you are, if they're considering doing the program right now while they have this gift of time,
oh my God, yeah,
but they're nervous like you were 9 months ago, like you're like, I wasn't ready, I couldn't, what would you say to that person who's kind of on the fence?
If you've made the decision that you want to be in this business, you want to be a successful travel agent, then this is your time. This is your time to jump into the program and start building your foundation. You have the time, and again, this program is great because you can do everything at your own pace as well. There's no one there saying, oh, you have to be on this module, you should be here, you should be there. But this is the perfect time. And again, the learning experience, the learning from this world event that's happening is it's invaluable. So if you want to be in this business, I would say that this program then is for you, and don't hesitate and start the journey now and start laying that foundation. And it's been invaluable to me. And I think especially, gosh, for a new agent, I think you're gonna, you start off right.
Like if you could go back 2 years and talk to yourself and say, Meredith, like if you want to do that, like if you could go back 2 years, do you wish you would have started with this if you were brand new?
I it would have made it easier. A lot easier.
2 years of pain and suffering and trying to figure everything out. Yeah,
exactly. It would have given me a little bit of a head start, but I'm so glad that I ended up doing it and taking the plunge, and really the support and the continued support that I know graduates receive is going to be something that I have no doubt that I'll be utilizing in the years to come. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm glad that you just don't graduate and you're like, oh, I see you. You have
grad group, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you have that continued support of the grad group. So, I'm grateful for it, and it's definitely been a great experience. And this is the perfect time to do it.
It really is, because like even being an experienced agent, like we give you a lot of decent amount of infrastructure you have to put in place. Like there's work you have to do. It's not just learning some new concepts. It's here's how you should do Facebook ads. Here's how you should do video marketing. Here's how you should do your sales. Here's the emails you should have in place. So it's, even if you're experienced, even if you're the best agent out there, but just struggling with marketing or closing or all of those things, it's the time is the gift that agents who have a starter business anyway, we never have time. So I feel like it's a beautiful journey. And the beautiful thing about this is I know there's a lot of like doom and gloom out there right now, but we're filming 5 case studies this week. 5 case studies. So Meredith is one of 4 others that are literally coming out of this program going, wow, like this, I'm so glad I did this. Like I feel ready, I feel prepared. So it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, there's going to be more of a demand for us. So if you guys are in the same place Meredith was 9 months ago, or where she was 2 years ago, where you have all the enthusiasm in the world, do it the right way from the beginning. Do yourself a favor. We can teach you everything right now while it's a little bit of a quiet period, so you are up and running for when this big demand comes in. And if you're experienced and you were struggling before COVID hit, I always say, like, if failure is not a luxury that you can afford, it's time to like commit to doing your business like a real business instead of a hobby, if you want to kind of curtail and make the best of the next year. And then you'll have the processes for, the rest of this year, you'll have the processes for every month, for every year going forward, which is amazing. So guys, reach out to careersonvacation.com/ready now. You can book a free discovery call. That's what Meredith did. And let's just talk about your goals and see if it's a fit for us to work together. If it is, we'll talk to you about applying for the Careers on Vacation Mastermind. If not, we will send you with some good tips and with some love as well. So Meredith, thank you so much for telling your story today and sharing your case study. And like I said, we're going to see you over in the grad group. You're not going too far.
No, great. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
I love it. We'll see you soon, okay?
Bye.